Hey everyone, and welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. My name is Steve, and I'm joined here by Barry. Hey Barry.
Hey Steve, it's always a pleasure.
It is. Greg's going to join us in just a little bit, but thank you for joining us today on September 9th, 2019. We're going to be here recording this episode number 182. 182 episodes after tonight. We'll be in the can, as they say. And we have tonight we're going to be talking about reactions to the Nintendo Direct from September 4th, 2019. We unfortunately didn't have our podcast last week. We kind of made some scheduling changes and all that because of Labor Day here in the United States. But if we were to have one, we would have had a Nintendo Direct right after the podcast last week. But because we didn't, it all worked out. So we have a lot to talk about this time. So we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. Before we jump into all that, we just want to welcome you, of course. Again, my name's Steve. This is Barry. Greg's going to be joining us. And we just want to remind you guys to subscribe. If you have not subscribed to the NintendoFuse YouTube channel, be sure to do that. If you haven't subscribed to us on your podcast app of choice, do that. And also join us on social media. We're just at NintendoFuse on pretty much all the major social medias out there. And we have a Discord. All the links to all that stuff is going to be in the comments down below. And we urge you guys to join us, especially in our Discord, because it's a great way for us to chat with a bunch of people between episodes and all that. We have a growing chat room as we speak. We got different people jumping in there, and we want to urge you guys to join us in the chat. So if you have anything to say about all the news and all the stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight, make sure you throw that in the chat, and we would love to just see what you can think about it, and sometimes address it out loud on the podcast as well. Also today, because it's September 9th, this is a big birthday day. Not only is it my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, Mom, if you're watching. It is also the 20th birthday for the Sega Dreamcast. And my mom is also 20. It'd make her feel good, I guess. There's no way that she would be 20, but we'll just call her 20 just to make her feel better. So happy birthday, Dreamcast. It didn't have that long of a life, but if it was still around, it's still around in our hearts and in my basement, and in your museum. But 20 years ago, Dreamcast come out. What's your favorite memory of your Dreamcast there, Barry?
I remember when it was coming out, one of my friends was super excited about it, and of course, I was still playing my 64, and they're like, "Oh my God, $99.99." I was still in high school, and he got it, and he had this big birthday party, and I just remember going there. It was the first time I saw it, and we were playing Air Force Delta and Resident Evil Code Veronica and Power Stone, and I instantly fell in love with Power Stone. So once I was able to finally get a Dreamcast the following summer, that's all I did. Power Stone 1 and then 2, and I had Sonic Adventure afterwards. But so many people were like, "Oh, Sonic Adventure is what got me." No, it was Power Stone for me. It was such a great system. I do remember one of the first things I thought of was the controller was weird because the cords came out the bottom, and you had to pull it up the top because of the VMU, which was just really weird. But it grew on me, and it's the Dreamcast died way too soon. I mean, people say the Wii U died soon. No, the Wii U did die soon, but the Dreamcast died sooner, and it still has such a great library, and it's a shame that Sega burned too many bridges to get out of the development. I mean, it gave us a lot of great Sega titles on Nintendo platforms, but it's still bittersweet to know that they went out on top in terms of that with a really great system that was ahead of its time.
That's true. Yeah, I remember not getting one in the beginning. I actually did not ever own a Genesis or any of the Sega consoles until the Dreamcast, and I actually got it years after it was released. Like a friend of mine, the one that I have right now, a friend of mine got rid of it when we were in college, and he's like, "Hey, you want the Dreamcast? I'm selling it in several games for $50." I'm like, "Sure, I'll take it." And because I was a huge fan of Crazy Taxi, and really, I bought the system in order to play Crazy Taxi. That was really it. It was kind of a crazy game as a system seller, but that's what it was for me. Oh.
Crazy Taxi 2 is still exclusive to the Dreamcast after all this time.
That's crazy. Ha. Crazy Taxi.
Didn't.
All right, so I think Greg's going to be coming on soon. Hopefully we can get him on. But before we jump into all our main discussion points and we get Greg on, Barry, go ahead and tell us what you've been playing lately.
Well, I haven't played as much as I would have liked to have played. I did do Astral Chain. So I actually completed Astral Chain. I'm in there's like an epilogue file, which I'm halfway through now. But yeah, it's good. Actually, I was rushing. I'm like, oh, Demon X Machina is tomorrow, so and then I'm like, oh, Demon X Machina is Friday. Actually, I have a little bit of time. But that is a great game. Astral Chain is a great game. I did since it's been 3 weeks. I did the Dragon Quest VIII demo, complete. It's like 8 hours. Dragon Quest 8, Dragon Quest 11. Sorry.
Yeah, I was starting to say, I was like, maybe I missed something.
No, the 11. It's great, and I urge, if you are interested in this game, check it out. You get a free spirit in Smash Brothers, but it is absolutely worth playing. Plus, the save data transfers, so you're not wasting your time. You play 8 hours. When the game comes out, you're 8 hours ahead. I did, speaking of Smash, Banjo. I played around with Banjo, and that was good. You're running through Classic. Just in fact, seeing him there was amazing. Of course, my usual, Dragalia Lost. I'm still doing Pokemon Go, begrudgingly. But the reason I haven't had as much time to play is because I've been setting up and preparing for Video Game Con this past weekend that I was just at, which was a lot of fun. Very, very tiring. I'll tell you this. I came home Saturday. I came home Sunday exhausted. I'm still exhausted today. I'm popping halls like crazy because my throat is sore from just talking to so many people. Because I love to just interact. I love to meet people. A lot of gamers.
And not from actually getting sick at a convention, because that's usually what happens.
No con crud this time. But it was good. I talked to a lot of Nintendo fans. I talked with a lot of gaming fans. A few have already joined our Discord, and hopefully some will join us tonight in watching the podcast. And but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got to meet some people. Got to setting up some industry talks for everybody. So hopefully I'll be able to get those finalized and recorded, so they'll be on NintendoFuse soon. But yeah, it's been busy. It's been a very busy time for me.
Yeah. Wow. Hey there, Greg. We got him in. Bam. We figured out this thing.
Yep,
so
I'm there.
You're here. I'm here. We're all here. And so, Greg, we were just talking about our favorite memories of the Dreamcast a second ago, because it's the 20th birthday. You could wish my mom a happy birthday as well. And it's also someone else in the birthday said it's their dad's birthday. So who was that?
Chariot Goblin.
Yeah, Chariot Goblin. So happy birthday to Chariot Goblin's dad as well. But what any favorite memories of Dreamcast there, Greg? I know you were a Nintendo only console person too. So any thoughts about the Dreamcast on its 20th birthday?
Well, this is probably my least knowledgeable subject there. I've never even played a Dreamcast, let alone I don't even know if I've even seen one in person.
Wow.
I didn't really even know anyone had one.
I hear a homework assignment coming on.
You can find one for $20 on eBay.
They're not too expensive. You can pick one out.
No, I think now that you mentioned it as well, I forgot one of the other reasons. And I never did this, but one of the other reasons I ended up getting one was I planned on like playing other games on it and running like the ROMs and all this other stuff that you could do with it because it wasn't very secure of a system, and I never ended up doing it. I got it and had thoughts, but I just ended up playing Crazy Taxi over and over again and was happy enough with that. So, Greg, what have you been playing? Not Dreamcast, but maybe Switch or mobile or something like that. What have you been playing lately?
Well, mostly just Switch and mobile. So on the Switch side, I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. I had some time since 2 podcasts ago, because I wasn't on the last one, to make some decent progress there. Having a lot of fun with Three Houses and still have tons and tons more to go. I've only barely scratched the surface there, still in like the kind of like the prologue and getting to know the different students, and I've already like selected a house, but I still need to like go through more of like the recruitment part of it and everything. On the mobile side, I still been playing Fire Emblem Heroes all the time, so you can catch me at the top of the ranks on tier 26 Ether raids, and then tier 20 and 21 in Arena. Still going strong there. Played a lot of Dr. Mario World as well. I told you guys in our Discord that now I've beaten all the available levels, including all the recent ones that just were added, I think, a week or two ago now. And I've also just 3-starred quite a lot of them, so just running out of levels for me to play.
You can just sign into my account and beat them all for me too. I gave up a while back.
Well, Barry's like only on like level 47
That's
or
true.
something.
That's true.
It's like playing the game all over for the first time.
Barry needs to log on and use up his hearts and.
I'm past Dr. Mario World. Oh, that's true. I forgot. I did play the new Pokemon mobile game too that came out. Pokemon Masters. I'm still playing it very vaguely. Like, it didn't pull my attention like I thought it would, and it uses a lot of the similar systems like the Drugalia does, but I feel it's a lot less intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And summoning is ridiculous. It's like 3,000 gems to summon, and they give you some like right at the start, but even right at the start, they give you like a total of like 5,000. It gives you like one summon. I'm like, that's kind of crap. And then there was an event right after I summoned, like, oh, now you can get blue. I'm like, oh, thanks. Why wasn't that at the start of the game? Like, why even let us summon beforehand? Oh, because you want me to pay? No, I'm done.
No, that's just usually how the gacha stuff works. I mean, you can start Dragalia Lost in the middle of a event, and then 2 days later a new one will start, and then...
Yeah, but I'm talking at the very beginning when Dragalia Lost started. Dragalia Lost started, and it didn't have an event right away, but it gave you time, and it gave you enough gems, and they've actually lessened the amount it takes to summon now. Like a while back they did. They're like, yeah, you know what? It's too expensive. It was 1,500 for 10. Half of what Pokemon's asking, and then they lowered it to 1,200. They're like, no, we're actually going to lower it. We're going to make it more convenient for people.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure there's other ways to like earn that stuff. I mean, that's usually how all that stuff works. I mean,
first time bonus only. That's it.
So there's like no like you catch Pokemon or you train them and then you get like more gems to summon.
Nope. Maybe during the events, but like Dragalia, like during the events, they give you like 3,000 to 4,000 of an event, easy. Some more, which is plenty to summon at the event.
But is the idea of like Pokemon Masters like really do a ton of summoning, or they just want you to pick one and then you're kind of...
No. You have to like each thing. Like when you go into a battle, it's like, oh, fire and earth or rock are good, and you need to bring masters of fire and rock. And each Pokemon Master only has one Pokemon. They can evolve them, but they only have one. So like if you get Brock has an Onix. That's it. Brock is Onix. Like that's it. Maybe down the road he will evolve to a Steelix, which will totally change his type. But yeah, it's very weird.
I've actually not even looked into it. Like I looked at like the download page and I was like, yeah, I forgot about that game, and I've moved on.
Yeah, I'm just being the largest Pokemon fan over here. I just had to get that day one, No, I haven't even looked at it yet.
That's true. Greg, you gotta get caught up before it comes out in a little bit. So the new one.
Yeah, I get all caught up in Game Press. Like, oh, please join us on the Pokemon Masters section to get some tips and tricks and communicate with other fans. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really a fan. So.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see. People have been talking quite a bit in the chat here. Basement Dweller says that development's been going well. He's been working on animating N64 cartridges and going down a toxic waterfall. So that's interesting. He put about 8 hours into Banjo now, and then has overtaken Toon Link after 7 years of being his main. So we'll talk a little more about Banjo pretty soon. Jakester Barry's asking, you haven't played any Final Fantasy XIV. What's up with that? I'm glad.
Oh yeah, I answered. I am. I'm still playing it. I've been trying to do everything I want to do every day.
Okay.
Which is getting increasingly hard. So I've like instead of doing 6 runs, or I'm going to do like 3 today, and like I said, preparing for the con is just ridiculous because I set up and I was selling doubles, so I had to like get prices for everything that I was bringing to the con, which and I'm trying to be fair, and it's like it's a lot of work just to prepare and pack and get everything ready. I still got to unload the car. Actually, come to think of it.
Yeah, nice.
So exhausted.
Baseman also said he's completed Super Mario World for the 42nd time in his life, so that's impressive. I am nowhere near 42nd, but that's still impressive. So
I know I'm at least double digits on Mario 64, but nice. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how far.
Nice.
I've replayed that one so many times. I just love that game.
Nice. I have been playing a little bit of the SNES Online. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Mostly Super Metroid and Star Fox. Rocket League, of course, and played a little bit more of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We still haven't went online. Barry, we got to make this happen. I just realized Brandon, as another contributor of ours on NintendoFuse, writes for us every once in a while, and he's also been playing it the last couple days, so we could totally get a 3-person match if I contact him, so we should do that sometime.
We should.
And also been playing Smash Brothers Ultimate for various reasons. A little Banjo-Kazooie, a little Home Run Derby, combine those together, and I was having a blast with that. So, so there was this little event that happened last week, and luckily, like I said earlier in the podcast, luckily for us, we decided to put the podcast off a week, and therefore, we have a ton of information to talk about this week with the Nintendo Direct. So, there was a big Nintendo Direct on September 4th of last week. And so we have tons of information. Just so before we jump into the details and everything, I'm just going to kind of walk through the press release in just a little bit, and we're going to kind of discuss all the things that were announced that day. But just overall thoughts about this Direct. I'll start us off with, and I think it was one of the best Directs that we've had in quite some time. Greg, what were your just overall general thoughts of this Direct?
Hate to be the Debbie Downer, but I was kind of one of the more less impressive ones for me.
Interesting. Okay. What's your reasons? Because I think Barry and I are in the same camp, so you might be the odd one out this time. I'm interested to see why you thought so.
Well, I think obviously the most notably the big surprise at the end obviously is not something I'm terribly interested in, and also I feel like they spent a pretty lengthy segment on another series that I'm not so interested in either. So it was kind of like I was one of the fans that, like, whenever they put like Fire Emblem on there, like, stop showing this garbage and go to the next thing kind of thing. It was like so
I get you a little bit, because they did spend some lengthy time on certain games that I thought was interesting, that they would choose those to spend so much time on. However, like, I think even with that, they still covered so much in a fairly short amount of time. It almost felt to me like an E3 Direct. That's almost what it kind of felt at that level of that. Barry, what did you think about this one?
See, I've actually seen a few people who have stated Greg's. They were like, "Oh, this Direct was terrible, 0.3 out of 10," and I'm like, How in their right mind can you give this Direct anything less than an 8, in my opinion? Like I give this at least a 9.5, if not higher. And I know some people said, well, certain things like Overwatch was kind of leaked because of the case and all that. So what? You can't take that away from it because something was leaked. It's still announced. It's still shown off. It was like nonstop, rapid fire. Like, by the time I felt it was over, I'm like, oh my God, that was insane. I looked at the clock and I'm like, it's only been 28 minutes. They have 12 more minutes? What are they going to put in 12 minutes? Like, they've just been nonstop. Like, everything was just bang, 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 bang. And it was like good stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, everything they just showed off was like, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play. And yeah, like when it first went off, like they said, like, oh, we're going to feature Luigi's Mansion 3 and Pokemon. I kind of groaned a little, like, because I was like, well, I'm already sold on those games. I don't need to see more. And then they showed Luigi's Mansion 3, some really good new stuff, and it was over in like a minute and a half. I'm like, oh, I thought that was going to be a focus. And then they showed Pokemon, and that was over in like 2.5 minutes. I'm like, oh, wow. Your focus is 4 minutes of a 40-minute direct. That's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, Animal Crossing was the thing they spent the most time on, and that was a lot of recap. But a lot of people, I think the reason they did that, and a lot of people don't realize this because some people just who dual stocks are retarded. And the reason I say that is because when the E3 Direct happened, it was fantastic, but because Animal Crossing was delayed, Nintendo stock dropped. So I think they put that much information in there for the stockbrokers. I think they put it in there for the shareholders to be like, look, here's Animal Crossing, it's coming along, don't worry. And I really think that's why they spent as much time on there, which is stupid. That should not be a reason to drop your stock because something is delayed, especially Nintendo. That's what they do.
Yeah.
But the
they just want to get rich quick. They don't really care about the long term.
Exactly.
So.
Right. And most people are just, stockholders for being a stockholder's sake. They don't have like an interest in the company itself. So there's like, all this stuff goes on the news and not necessarily the actual day-to-day happenings at the company and everything.
And you know what? And I understand like Greg wasn't as excited about the final reveal. And you know what? The initial reaction to me wasn't as excited as you might think it would be. Because at first I'm like, oh my God, are they doing Xeno 3? Like, are they going to actually do a new one? And then when I realized, no, wait, this is Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I was kind of like, man, I want 3.
Yeah.
But then when I realized like the graphical upgrade, because when we played it back on the Wii, it looked amazing because it was 2012. Like,
right.
But then when you look side by side, it's like, holy crap, this is a world of difference. Right. And I really hope more people get to play this game because I'm going to be honest with you, Xenoblade Chronicles was my absolute favorite game of last generation. Better than any 360, any PS3, any Wii, any DS game or PSP game. Better than any of them. Xenoblade Chronicles overall was truly phenomenal and more people need to experience it. So I do hope you get this one. I hope you give it a better chance. And hopefully Steve finishes Torna by then, maybe.
I don't know. Those side quests aren't taking care of themselves.
You're so close.
I think Steve's probably closer to finishing the bunker than finishing Turna.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I had a lot more fun with Torna than the bunker, that's for sure. It was great. I mean, I've said this before until I realized that I couldn't progress anymore because I had to go back and do stupid side quests. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the Nintendo Direct. So let's kind of like the chat's going all over the place. They're saying a lot of people really liked it. A lot of people are saying that it was as good as an E3 one, but not quite as good as the E3 2019. People are kind of mostly positive, it looks like, in the chat. Some thoughts around the latest Smash reveal and things like that. We'll get into that in just a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit more about Xenoblade as well. But let's just kind of walk through the press release. This won't be in the exact same order as they released in the Nintendo Direct. I don't know why they do that, but we're just going to walk through the press release instead, so we can hit the big stuff up front, and then we'll kind of get to the quote-unquote smaller announcements near the end. But there was an Overwatch announcement from the very beginning. Overwatch Legendary Edition is coming to the Switch. What do you guys think of Overwatch? Are you still playing Overwatch, or have you ever played it? Does this interest you now that it's on Switch? Myself, I played it years ago. I believe I think I had it on PS4, but I've since kind of like retired. My PS4 it hasn't been turned on in a long time. I've been playing a little bit more on Xbox One, but mostly on Switch these days. So I haven't played Overwatch in quite a while. I don't know if it coming to Switch this late in the game is really that exciting for me personally, because I've kind of moved on to other games since then. But what do you guys think, Barry?
I never played it. I don't actually, believe it or not, I don't think I even have it.
Wow.
And I'm planning to get it for Switch, but I'm really angry that I have to get it for Switch because they're pulling a Crapcom here or a Fortnite, and they're putting a digital code in a physical box. Thank you, Activision Blizzard, for being cheap. I really don't like you for that.
Nice. Yeah, that's always fun. Are you? You're basically buying a box
I'm buying a box because I have no choice.
Yeah.
It's an official release.
So you buy in a download copy, but they found out the way to get your money, Barry. That's what's happening. They found out how to get you to buy a box and to buy a digital game. Both two things that you don't want to do, but you gotta fork over your money.
Not as dirty as Capcom. I don't know if you saw what they did with Mega Man or not.
Yeah.
What they did? Did you see what they announced in Japan?
Oh, wait, recently?
Yes.
No.
They announced a special box set in Japan with Mega Man Legacy Collection 1, 2, 11, X Legacy Collection 1, X Legacy Collection 2, and a space for the Zero ZX Collection announced. All of it physical. It's the only way to get Legacy Collection 2 physical on the Switch is in that box set. Even Legacy Collection or X Legacy Collection 2 came out physical in Japan. It's all plays in English if you pop it in. So it's the only way to get it, and you have to get the full box set. So it's like so many people are now trying to unload their games, and it's like, oh, I got to buy it the whole set for this. It's like Bayonetta 1 and 2 all over again in Japan.
Wow.
So I hate you, Capcom, so much right now.
I thought your whole thing is that you like the boxes for your collection, though. So you get like the best of both worlds. You get the codes, then you don't have to take out the cartridge. But then you have the box that's on. I don't
like anything that I have to depend on the internet and there being a service and all that. If I want to play the game and there's no internet, I want to be able to pop in that game. I don't want to have to go, crap, I got to re-download this. It's taking up space in my memory card. Oh, I have no internet, or oh, it's taken off the shop. I mean, look at DuckTales Remastered. Another one. Another reason to never go digital. Just gone.
It is really interesting why they. I mean, I'm guessing it's just to save money, but still get the box out in front of people. But with, I don't know, is it worth it to tick that many people off? I don't know. But
they don't care.
Anyway,
they don't care. It's Activision. Yeah, Activision and EA are competing. Allow Crapcom too for pissing off people, and they really don't care.
Anyway, Greg, have you played Overwatch? You excited about this one?
I have not played Overwatch. I wasn't quite sure if it's the game for me. It looked like it was more of a raid focus with like other players and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I'm not usually
one of the coolest things about Overwatch for me, it's very similar to why am I blanking on the name of that? It's a big Steam game that like everybody shooter. Everybody has different roles. This is awful. Help me out, chat room. Like, you know what I'm thinking about, and you can be my brain tonight because it's shot. But basically, everybody has kind of like different roles and different kind of characters. They all come together, and you're kind of playing different stuff together. So it's different than your typical shooter. I like it because the team-based aspect of it a lot of times. But yeah, I played it for a little while and then I put it to the side. I mean, it's really big still in the esports. Team Fortress, there it is, Jake, sir. I knew it was coming through. Team Fortress 2. But yeah, it's really big in the esports world. But I've moved on to other stuff since then.
Yeah, I've never really played a lot of team games, so I mean, I don't know if they have like a demo for it or something like that, or I don't know. Because I really feel like you really have to experience this. You can't just really watch other people play.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the idea sounds pretty good in concept, but I mean, I don't really understand the different roles, and it would be a pretty big, huge learning curve for someone that's not used to playing team games.
Yeah, you could try out Paladins. I think it's a free to start game. Kind of get the basic idea of Overwatch. Overwatch and Paladins are very, very similar in a lot of ways. In fact, a lot of people think they ripped each other off, but anyway, you can kind of get the hang of it. I think from playing Paladins, and because it's a free to start, I don't know. I wonder if people if it's kind of worth it bringing on this point. I guess we'll see, because that's going to be out on October 15th. But let's move on to Smash Brothers news, because we got a lot of big Smash Brothers news. We've kind of alluded to this already and what we've been playing, because we've always been kind of checking out the different Smash Brothers stuff. But we found out that Banjo and Kazooie, was going to join that day, or actually the next day, the following day. So we got them coming on September 5th.
No.
right?
It
Or was it that
it
day?
was that night.
Was it that
It was
night?
that
Okay,
night.
that's right. It was that night, and so that was exciting. And then they announced the next character that they're going to be working on. Had this kind of montage that kind of we saw all these other characters from SNK kind of just missing the invitation, and it was kind of a cool little thing to go together. And then all of a sudden we find out that Terry Bogard, who is kind of the main guy from Fatal Fury, that's kind of franchise. Not exactly like, of course, they have a lot of characters in there, but he's kind of like the main one in a way, kind of like Ryu is kind of from Street Fighter and stuff. So he's like the main character from that franchise is coming into Smash, and I believe, I think was it November? Am I getting that correctly? So he's coming in November. Of course, you can get the fighter pass that has all those 5 fighters, and then they dropped on us that since they have 4 of the 5, we're like, oh man, it's hard to believe it's going to come to an end. But then they announced, hey, you know what? We're working on more. We're working on more fighters. So they didn't say how many. They didn't say when they're coming. They're just more characters in development. So they kind of dropped all that stuff on us. And then kind of a Phantom thing that I don't think they mentioned in the direct at all, but the next update for Smash brought several different things, but one of the things that I'm particularly excited about is Home Run Derby is back. And so that's actually what I've been playing. I played the training mode with Banjo and Kazooie, and I played Home Run Derby because that's what I'm all about. I'm actually liking Banjo and Kazooie quite a bit. So a lot of Smash Brothers news. What are you guys thinking about all this? What are you liking? What are you not liking? All that stuff. So Barry, how about you go first?
Well, like I said, I played through Banjo-Kazooie already. I went through the classic. I really enjoy the way they play. It's just like a dream come true. When you grow up in high school and you don't have a PlayStation or Saturn, you have an N64. If you were alive then, N64 had a lot of quality titles, but they did not come often, so that was a big pillar. Like Banjo-Kazooie was played for months of my life because that's all I had. Same with Tooie. So just to see them back is amazing. So much better than that nuts and bolts crap. I will say this. I love and I hate Spiral Mountain. I love how much work they put into it. It just makes me want to play Banjo-Kazooie again. I hate that it's a rotating stage.
Really?
Because it makes me nauseous.
Huh.
When the stage rotates, it triggers my vertigo.
Interesting.
And I actually have to close my eyes to play on that stage in the regular, just because it's going to make me sick, and I can't play if I'm sick.
That's really interesting. I was actually going to say I forgot about the stage. I like the stage. And I normally don't like moving and rotating stages, but that one was really cool because it just bringing to the different aspects of it, and I did not get sick, and sometimes I do. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I watched other people's reactions to the direct, and when they were showing that off, people are like, "Oh my god!" Wow, just watching you, it's making me. I'm like, I'm where? I'm there with you. I feel it. I'm happy about Terry, simply because when you grew up in our age, we did the arcades. We played in the arcades, and Neo Geo MVS was very, very prominent in most arcades because it was one arcade machine was 2, 4, 8 games, and Fatal Fury and later King of Fighters were absolutely mainstays, and I loved them. I mean, it would have been cool if they brought Mai over to get another female fighter, but yeah, it's great to see SNK. I never thought they would be there, and the fact they showed Virtual Boy in that reveal shows they still haven't forgotten about the Virtual Boy, which I'm very happy about personally. Don't never forget. But yeah, I'm interested to see how many characters are on in their stage. I did notice the logo on the very brief snippet of the stage we saw had the Smash ball in there. It looked like King of Fighters almost, like the KOF with the Smash. Yeah, I thought that's good. The fact that more fighters are on their way, I jump for joy. I mean, come on. I totally expect more Nintendo characters to come. Honestly, at this point, I would be surprised if we don't get Rex and Pyra / Mithra with maybe an Adam as an alternate, either as an Echo fighter or at least as Oliver and Alf kind of deal. I also honestly would be surprised to not see Akira Howard from Astral Chain with another type of character where it's a two-part thing. I think they want to use this as promotion. And honestly, I would expect the Fire Emblem Three House character as well. I know many people are like, oh, another Fire Emblem. But, when Sakurai was talking about how they don't know when they're ever going to get this many worlds in, all those characters involve outside rights. But Nintendo has put out a lot of franchises, and now that can get more representation that they own.
Right.
So why not? And Echoes. Why not an Echo Pass? I mean, it can't be too hard to make Echoes. There's plenty of Echoes to come about.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, you've been talking about it for a while. And I know Greg's a huge Banjo-Kazooie fan because of what he just said in the chat room there. He hasn't played Banjo-Kazooie there.
My God.
Wait.
Homework assignments for days.
Basement Dweller is going to tell you that because he's played it 47 times. He's played all the way through as he's doing research. So 47, that's amazing. He's going for 64. By the time his new game Time Crackers comes out, so that'd be awesome. 64 times through. 47 is impressive enough, but I can't imagine 64 times through that game. That's a lot of game to go through 64 times. But even though you're not a big fan, you haven't had the history of Banjo-Kazooie there, Greg. Any other thoughts about the Smash Brothers reveals and what we got coming up?
Well, yeah, it's definitely great to see some additional representation. Obviously, for someone like me, I've never been exposed to like the SNK and Fatal Fury. I've never played it, never even really heard of it. So like, I was completely lost during like the announcement of him, and it was like, okay, it's almost like the people that don't know Fire Emblem, and they're like, oh, it's another Fire Emblem rep kind of thing. Like they don't care, like just another character to the mix. So it's really cool. I mean, I have the pass, so I'll be obviously getting them and probably check it out later. Yeah, I just didn't really have too much time to play it since the Direct to actually play Banjo and Kazooie yet. So plan is to hopefully do that before the next podcast. But
yeah. I have a question, and
yes.
I honestly want to know your opinions in the chat. I want you to answer this too. You know how there's characters like Villager, Wii Fit Trainer, and Robin, where there's male and there's female versions as alternates. Well, on the Switch, there's a game called SNK Heroines where they turn Terry Bogart into a girl.
Yeah. Is that like T-E-R-I or something, Terry?
No. It's the same.
Is it the same spelling? Okay.
It's him. It's the male character got turned into a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Will we get both the regular male version, which we saw obviously, and the female version as an alternate, since they only appeared in that one game, and that one game was on Switch?
Probably.
Yeah.
I feel like he would do like an obscure reference, kind of like that. So kind of like how the hero has like all these different versions from his different games.
Yeah.
It's not just like random color suits over. I imagine they'd give like a special treatment to have like a male and female form, and then just like 3 colors of each.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past him. I live a Basement Dweller says he hasn't heard the question, but yes, it didn't matter what you said. Yes, I actually wouldn't put it past him either. I mean, even like you said, like even in the logo of this thing, there's so much love in there, and so many different things that they put in each of these characters and their stages and stuff like that, and little hidden things like character like different colors and stuff like that, and what they mean and everything. And I wouldn't put it past them at all. Actually, as I was looking through all the different characters, I'd forgotten some of them have like their female counterparts, and I was playing through the characters today and forgot that was happening as I was kind of changing through the colors, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if they did that. I don't know. Do you agree?
I hope they do. Just at least, maybe not like 4 versions of it, but at least one there as a reference to it. I think that'd be funny. And then you have 8 people playing it, and one person's, there's 8 guys and one stuck as a girl. Like, I'm the girl, Terry. Just to see. But yeah, I hope they do it just as a reference, because it is technically part of the history, and it did appear on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually when they do it in like into the alts, they really dig deep into the history. I mean, that's kind of why like Mario can look like Wario and like Waluigi and stuff like that. So they try to make like relevant like alts for the characters that are in the game. So,
yep, for sure.
I mean, Dark Pit was an alt for quite a while before he got broken off. So,
Same with Dark Samus.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if we don't have a Dark Link, though, interesting.
Never did Dark Link.
Yeah. All right,
that
let's.
Would be a good Echo Fighter.
It would be. It would be.
$2.99.
Yep. There you go. Let's move on to the very last thing that was announced. We've kind of alluded to this already. Is that Xenoblade Chronicles is getting a second re-release on the Switch on the Definitive Edition, and bringing back the Wii game that we had to clamor for this game. We had a big, gigantic. Operation Rainfall to bring this game to the United States, and lo and behold, we get not one but two remakes of this game. I guess they finally got the idea that we wanted it. So Barry, you've already kind of shared a lot of thoughts. Greg, any general thoughts about Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition? Is this the one that's going to make Barry proud and finally get you to play a Xenoblade game?
Well, as I've previously alluded on other podcasts, I haven't enjoyed the combat system of the first game. So unless they like completely change it so it's more like a normal standard RPG turn-based combat, then yes, I will gladly play it, enjoy it, and love the story, and play it over 300 hours to make Barry cry tears of joy.
The combat system is brilliant in that game.
I agree with Greg on that one. I think it got better. They bettered the combat system as they went on. I like it in Torna quite a bit, and I think that's based on 2, right?
Yeah.
And X was okay, but I actually of the different games, I didn't like the first combat system either.
They could update it. They could add stuff, just like they did with Torna. If you think about it, Torna's battle system is Xenoblade Chronicles 2's, but with refinements to make it a better battle system.
Yeah,
and I agree. The battle system in Torna is better.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, because I was like stuck at one of the early parts on the game because my attacks were doing like 0 damage. It was trying to tell me to do this chain thing, and then like the guy that his name begins with R, he wouldn't even, like
it's Rhine time, baby.
Yeah, he was like wouldn't trigger his like move, and I was like doing 0 damage to the boss, and the boss like kept killing me. It was like a training battle against like the final boss or something. I think like he like showed up really early in the story, and I couldn't beat him because my guy was not doing any of his chain moves to help me out. So
interesting. So Barry, you gonna play through it again?
I said that. I was like, am I really gonna go down this rabbit hole again? I put God knows how many hours in the first one, and it's been so long, I don't like replaying games, but when it's been so long, I might do it, especially with how it looks. I might do it. And especially playing 2. Because no spoilers, but Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 do connect, and they connect in a very brilliant way. And the fact that it's been so long, it'll be nice to go through 1 again. So the answer is it depends on what else is coming out around that time. If there's going to be a little bit of a wasteland, then yes, I'll be able to sneak it. If there's like a great game right before it and like 2 great games right after it, then I'll probably put it off because I know once I touch it, I'm not touching another game for a while.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're going to be replaying Link's Awakening, and you probably haven't played that in a long time. So.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait. Next week.
It's true.
Yep.
It's coming soon. Let's move on because we talked about Xenoblade quite a bit on the podcast. So just going to review our prior podcast. Barry's talked about it like in every other podcast. So at least one Xenoblade gets brought up. So let's move on to this other announcement that came out that I think was in our predictions this year and probably last year as well, was that the Super Nintendo games are finally coming in a Nintendo Online service, and we got not just a handful, we actually got 20 games that dropped on September 5th for the SNES Online. They were Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, A Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Stunt Race FX, which is the first time it's been available since the original game came out, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Mario World 2, Star Fox, F-Zero, Pilot Wings, Kirby's Dream Course, Brawl Brothers, Breath of Fire, Demon's Crest. I got Damon X Machina on mine. Demon's Crest, Joe and Mac 2, Lost in the Tropics, Super EDF, Earth Defense Force, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Puyo Puyo, which is the first time that this has been released in the U.S., and Super Soccer, and this is also available for the first time since its originally SNES release. And and Super Tennis as well, same thing, since the original Super NES release. That's 20 games launched on September 5th. And later on, we found out, in addition to this, that they're not no longer going to be releasing the NES Online and SNES Online games monthly, like they have been. They've been releasing like 2 to 3 games a month for the NES Online. They're just going to release them when they're ready and just going to drop them randomly, apparently. So thoughts about the Super NES finally coming to the Switch Online service, and maybe a little bit about those that little tidbit of information, how they're going to release those. Barry, what do you think about the SNES Online? Have you been playing it nonstop?
I downloaded it, but I have not touched it yet, simply because I've been doing Astral Chain. What's my thoughts on it? I think it's fantastic. I think it's great that they didn't raise the price, which scared me, that they were going to raise the yearly, but they didn't. I think the selection of games overall is fantastic. I think it's a truly wonderful selection. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, obviously you got the mainstays, Super Metroid, Link to the Past, Mario World, great games. The best game on there that most people haven't played, that need to play it, is Demon's Crest. Hands down, it might even be better than A Link to the Past. It is so good. If you like Metroidvanias, you need to play this game.
Wow.
Like Greg, right up your alley.
Greg,
it is the third Gargoyle's Quest game. They never made more after this. I love Demon's Crest so much with a passion. It's an expensive cart. I still have my original copy. I played that thing probably about 30 times as a kid growing up. Like, it is so good. So that's probably going to be the first thing I do when I boot that up, is I'm going to go through Demon's Crest again. Just because that game, is, as far as I know, has never been ported. I don't know. It might have been on the Wii Virtual Console. I don't know. I never did the Virtual Console. But it might never been ported since the Super Nintendo, and it needs to be played. I think the selection is great. And you know what? I've seen some people make a big deal about the whole not monthly thing. You know what? I'd rather them drop it when it drops. When it's ready, boom. Especially because they got 2 systems now. And you know they're going to throw in some of those special versions to pad it as well. And yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, they just gave us 20 games. I mean, if you want more than that right away, come on.
Right.
You're being greedy.
Right.
I mean, you won less than the Super Nintendo Classic that you paid $80 for, and you get it here included. So why not? Plus the new controller they showed off. I like the fact that it's not a Joy-Con.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You can
and it's not available for for order yet, right? I haven't missed it yet, have I? Okay, good.
Nope.
I'm definitely getting that.
You can get up to 4.
Nice. I'm going to get 1, which I like that they're dropping them just by one this time instead of having to buy 2, which is nice. And I do like it. You can charge it like a regular controller instead of having to slap it on the side of your Switch. Greg, what's your thoughts about the SNES Online?
It was, definitely very nice to see that finally come out. I know it was they didn't the people that did the data mining stuff and saw there was stuff that was potentially coming. So yeah, I think it's just been a long time coming, and it's really nice to be there. And to answer Barry's question, some of the stuff that's in that press release, it was saying there's a few games on there that says available for the first time since their SNES release, and that was the Stunt Race FX, the Super Soccer, Super Tennis, and Super Puyo Puyo 2 are the only ones that have special announcements.
Well, it might have been on Wii Virtual
Console.
Yeah, so
Demon's Crest was either on Wii or Wii U Virtual Console, I imagine. But yeah, I'll definitely probably wanted to check that one out. I did briefly play the Gargoyle's Quest. What was it, the Game Boy version?
The original. NES was the second one.
And I did enjoy what I played. I just never had the time to finish it. So,
Demon's Crest is so good. It's Metroidvania. It's like Super Metroid, but better.
Nice.
Because you you actually can go. It's almost like Mega Man in a sense too. But you can actually you fly in the overworld. It uses the Mode 7, and it doesn't tell you where to go. You have to fly around and find locations, and there's obvious locations to go to, but there's hidden ones too. So it may be a forest, and you fly down like, oh crap, I found a level I didn't know existed, and you can go in any order because it's like Mega Man in that sense. It's just so good. It really needs to be played.
Yeah, but the main thing that I took away from this is I was unsure how they were going to be doing this like in the future, because like with the NES one we had like a kind of a schedule. We knew like 2 or 3 games were coming like every month, and with them not really like committing to a schedule, it kind of worries me that it'll kind of fall into the oblivion where we might just get like one game every other month or something goofy like that, or like one game every 6 months. I mean, I really don't want it to be that way at all. I would love to have a lot more games on the service, but
I think if it was one game every 6 months, it would be bad. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they did that super slow drip on Wii U Virtual Console, so.
Right, and I think I get where you're coming from, Greg, because of things like that. There's almost like there's a little skepticism. Like if they're not going to be on that schedule of at least 2 to 3 a month, what's it going to become if they don't have on that schedule? So I could see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a concern. It's still nice. We obviously already technically paying for it with like their membership, but just still kind of like a cautionary thing. Like we could still only have like not even 30 games like a year from now if they don't really commit to updating it. So
yeah. You gonna be ordering the controller there?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely like the controllers. I didn't even use the NES ones, but I'm still definitely having them for collection purposes if I hope to end up using it, though.
Yeah, nice. So let's move on. We got a little repeat of Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE getting an encore release. Greg, you excited? This is coming January 17th. I mean, it's like Fire Emblem, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I was never really big into the whatever that cross game is.
Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, I never really got into that, and I was kind of scared of it on the Wii U. Like
we need a counter at the bottom of the screen that shows like how many times Barry has been disappointed this episode.
I mean, I like that they obviously did the crossover, and it's great to be coming and have more content, and it's probably gonna have like 3 houses stuff on it. But I don't know. From what I've seen in the trailers and stuff, at least of the Wii U one, I was never really super interested into getting into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Barry, are you excited about this one then?
Yeah, I only played a little bit of the Wii U version. I didn't get to finish it, so yeah, I'm looking forward to replaying it completely with all the added content.
Yeah. I also have never played it. It's not like I don't have a hatred for it or anything, but I think in the middle of everything else, it's like it's one of those games that I just never have taken the time to get interested in or give it a really good shot. Do any of those games have demos? Because I think that would help me a lot to try out those things out.
Not yet.
Not yet. So it'd be cool. I hope they do release a demo because there's a couple games that are like that, like a different kind of style or different kind of genre or whatever, and demos do help. I think for people like me, and at least I'm willing to. I don't know if Greg, if there was a demo, would you be willing to try it to make Barry happy?
Yeah, I would definitely try to see if I've been wrong from the impressions I've seen from trailers and stuff.
Nice. We also are getting another Tetris. Actually, it's already out. Tetris DLC version 2.0 is out now, and it comes with Invictus mode, which was basically a game. If you're like one of the top Tetris 99 players, if you've beaten the game, you get to play in this mode. And we also get some 2-player modes in there. 2-player share mode, where you can share the screen. You can play online together, and you can also play like I really, really wanted to, and they finally brought it, is being able to play local wireless. So if you brought your Switch to like a video game con like Greg did, you might be able to play Tetris 99 with like 7 other people as you kind of wait in line for games and things like that. I was really excited. This is the DLC that is probably going to get me to download it. that DLC finally. So I was glad to see that there. I haven't bought it yet, but it's going to be something I do pretty soon. But they're also releasing. Actually, is it already available? It was out on the September 6th, I believe. So am I getting that correctly? The physical version is out. There it is, right there. Unless Barry, raided the factory and got it early.
Nope, it's out.
There it is, right there. So of course, that was my next question. Did you get it already, Barry? But he already did. So finally, you have a physical copy of Tetris 99 with all the DLC included.
Not all the DLC. The first DLC is included. The second DLC is available for download. It's not on the card.
Okay. Well,
but it's there.
Hey, it's there. At least you got a cartridge and not a download code.
Another thing that sucks. You see, it includes a 1-year membership, which sounds great. Except if you have the family plan, like I do, you can't use this. That stinks.
Sounds like we have a giveaway. No, I'm just kidding.
They're punishing those of us that have the family plan.
Yeah, that's true. Greg, are you excited about this DLC pack? I don't think, if I remember correctly, none of us bought the DLC pack originally. So, Craig,
actually,
did you end up getting it?
You did get it. I didn't download or start looking at it yet, but I did. I think it was the gold coins that I gotten from purchasing the vouchers. I think I used that to get the Tetris DLC or something.
Oh, okay. Cool. Actually, that's what I'm planning on doing as well. So are you? Does this next DLC pack is that exciting for you, or is it going to be something that eventually you'll get because you'll eventually download it?
It'll probably just be something that's there when I want to use it. I mean, I'm not looking. I mean, we play a lot of local stuff, but it's still going to be really cool to have some other modes and stuff like that, and especially with themes and whatnot. It'll be pretty cool to have.
Nice. Barry, you already got it. Have you played the copy? Have you stuck it in there? Or?
Nope.
Yeah. When was the last time you played Tetris 99?
Probably 3 days after it dropped.
Yeah.
Like I said, Astral Chain has been absorbing my time when I've had time. Video Game Con kind of took it all from me.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, you guys in the chat are hilarious. I don't even have the time to read through all that. But if you're not in our chat room during the live show, let me just tell you, you're missing out, and you should definitely join in. All right, so we have some Pokemon Sword and Shield news. It's coming on November 15th, and we found out we get a... oh, man, I'm going to butcher this name. I should have practiced this ahead of time. Polteageist? Polteageist. Oh, because it's T.
Get it?
Right, T. That's why I forgot as I was looking at it. Yes, because it's tea, because it's based in London, kind of, or Europe, or England at least, and so they only drink tea, I guess. So you have to have a tea reference, and there's a Pokemon that's a tea-type ghost Pokemon, which is crazy because you can actually maybe get it to serve you tea, which. Are you drinking? I don't want to think about the logic behind all that, but I'm just going to go in a bad direction. But you can get that one. There's also a flying and water type Pokemon, Cramorant, which will swallow absolutely anything that looks hardy enough, and then he actually has a gulp missile, which launches that thing at your opponent Pokemon. Players also be able to travel through the Galar region in style in this game. They can outfit their main trainer with a bunch of different clothes and hairstyles and all those different things. And they have a Pokemon camp where you can get to know the Pokemon a little better and everything. Play the new Wild Wild Area, and players can visit each other's camps, and up to 4 players can and their Pokemon can hang out in the camp together. And then you can also make some curry and rice. You guys can tell me all about that, why that's important, but maybe you can't. I don't know. Barry's no, I'm still not sure why. But maybe Greg can enlighten us, because Greg's a huge Pokemon fan, right? So, Greg, is all this new stuff that's getting announced for Pokemon Sword and Shield, is it making you more excited about finally trying your hand at Pokemon, or is this just kind of whatever?
It's kind of more almost pushing me away. What the heck is all this going on? Now I have to do Breath of the Wild cooking in a Pokemon game.
I just hope that the food like dances around just like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I know, and makes a little cute sound like.
Yeah. Hey, you get a curry dex. In addition to your Pokemon dex, you get a curry dex as well. So,
and then when they don't bring that one to the next game, then everyone's gonna raise hell again. So.
Yes, curry dex is gonna cross over. Oh man, Barry, what do you think about all these announcements? Not as big of announcements, I think, as previous, but no. But did it excite you enough?
I mean, I'm already gonna play it. At least I'm already planning on playing it. Let me just put it that way. So it's nice. It doesn't address all the issues. I mean, it's really just quality of life stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for new features. I'm all for fleshing out a game and fleshing out a game world, but it's fluff in a sense too.
Mm-hmm.
You could play the whole game and never bother visiting your friend's camp and having their Pokemon meet your Pokemon, and I'm sure you can get through the game by cooking the first thing they show you how to cook with the curry and rice and make your first recipe, and never making any more, and you'd still be fine. It's probably like that, and I'm fine with that. It's added content to the game. I'll never complain about more content, but it doesn't do anything extra for me. It's nice that it's there, and I'm sure there are some people that are like, where you can have like makeup on and change your hair. Like I've seen some reactions where people are like, yeah, that finally. It doesn't do anything for me, but I'm really happy it does things for those other people.
Yeah, for sure. And that's basically the same thing for me as well. I think there was a time when I was excited about games that I could hang out and everything with my friends and stuff like that, but I just don't do that much anymore. I'd rather, I think, in a game like that, I want to go on adventures, and the trading and battling and everything makes more sense. But just to kind of hang out in a Pokemon camp, I'm like, no, I'd rather go on adventures and do co-op kind of stuff with other people instead of just kind of chilling and hanging out.
What's going to happen is I'm going to be playing something else, and my wife is going to be like, come load in Pokemon so that we can have our Pokemon meet. And I'll be like, fine. I'm done with the game already. Fine. Yeah.
Nice. You need to get a Pokemon or a Switch Mini or Lite to just have running over there so she can do that, and you can go and play back, Astral Chain or something. Yeah. We also got just a little bit more information about Link's Awakening. It's going to be coming out on September 20th, so just a few days away. And did they really announce anything brand new? I think it was basically just a reminder that it's that's coming out. So
they showed that you don't have to use templates in that on the created dungeon thing. Okay. Because they first showed it off with like a heart. Like, oh, you have only this heart to work on. But this one, it kind of showed like, hey, you have an above ground and a below ground kind of deal, and you still have the preset rooms, but you can really do what you want with it, which is awesome. And then you can save the dungeons on Amiibo to bring over to your friend's house. So you go, here you go.
Oh, right. I forgot that. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It's interesting that it saves on Amiibo, but I guess it works.
No more memory cards like back in the day where you would save it and bring it over.
That's true.
I think the only new piece was actually just saving it to the Amiibo, because I thought they kind of talked about further customizing the dungeons, at least in like the Treehouse stuff, Treehouse Live.
Oh, it might have been in the Treehouse. Yeah.
I do remember like having them talking a lot about it, because that was what really definitely put it over the top for me to get the game, was this Dungeon Maker.
Well, no, they showed the Dungeon Maker, but they showed it like if you go back and watch the footage, it shows them making it in a heart pattern, and that's what they were restricted to. And this time it actually shows no pattern at all. Like you're free to do what you want.
Interesting.
It's not what I remember from that Treehouse, but okay.
Either way, it's changed now. So and to be out here in just a week and a half or so. So not too long from now, 11 days away. Luigi's Mansion was also showed off near the beginning of it, and let's see, we had several new things that were announced. I think there was make sure I get this all correct. We have a new pyramid setting of Tomb Suites, a disco floor, and a pirate-themed restaurant. And they also had a Scream Park party mode where 2 to 8 players can battle against each other as a Luigi team and a Gooigi team, even with the only one Switch system. So you can all gather together there with 8 players on one Switch system, and the teams will compete to see who can defeat the most ghosts all together. So that's going to be here on October 31st. Greg, what do you think about this new information for Luigi's Mansion? Is it make it more exciting for you? Again, just kind of like, you know what, at this point I'm already sold. Let's just bring the game. Get it here.
Yeah, I'm been pretty much already sold on it, and I probably won't be dabbling a lot with the multiplayer mode, but it's obviously great for those that really enjoy that kind of mode. So
cool. Barry, about the same thoughts?
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I'm already sold on it. I can't wait. I mean, it's almost weird, like that Scream Park thing is like Luigi's Mansion party kind of deal, and it just reminds me, like, why hasn't Super Mario Party gotten DLC boards yet?
That's true. I never thought I forget about Super Mario Party, but yes, they should bring those things. Maybe after Luigi's Mansion, maybe they're waiting for this new batch of games, and then they're going to release some to kind of hype those games. I don't know. We'll see. Animal Crossing New Horizons got a big section of the Direct itself, but we didn't really find out a whole lot of new stuff. You get the Deserted Island Getaway Package by Nook Inc., and it started this relaxing life full of creativity and charm and freedom in the next installment, and it's going to be here in March 20th of 2020. That's a lot of 320s in a row. Any thoughts? If not, we'll move on.
I mean, I'm already going to get it. Yeah. It looks good, but it's not even... I'm not focused on it because it's so far away right now.
Yeah. Greg, you about the same?
Opposite. The game's already been on a hard pass that I've really been into the previous games.
I was actually the hard pass. You're like, no, this is what I need to hear. I need it. This is what sold me on the game. No, now Husson would be on here. He'd be like, give me all the information about Animal Crossing that you can give me. I still don't have enough. For me, I'll probably end up getting it, but at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'll wait until March 20th and I'll eventually get it. There's some other stuff that I'm more excited about at this point. One of those games is Daemon X Machina. It's coming out in September 13th, so that is 4 days away. So this Friday we're going to be getting this. And there's also a new demo version of the game that dropped the day of the Direct. And in this prologue demo, all of your save data comes over to the final game, which I know makes Barry incredibly excited. I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10, Barry, how excited are you for Daemon X Machina?
I'm about an 8.5.
Okay.
I really did enjoy the prologue demo. We did a game chat on it. In fact, after the game chat, I went back and I refarmed and I got better gear. Granted, it was all for naught. And I actually thought it came out tomorrow, so I'm like, oh, good, I'll finish Astral Chain, I'll start Daemon. But now that I know it's Friday, I'm like, you know what? Now I guess I'm going to download the demo just to start and do the first missions a little early and have a head start. And I absolutely love demos where it's the beginning of the game and it transfers in, the save data over. Because if you're going to play and start it and you like it, you don't want to start at the beginning again. Mm-hmm. You want to work on carry over that progress.
Yeah, for sure. Greg, are you be getting Daemon X Machina?
Most likely not, I don't think. I still need to play one of the demos, and it hasn't really been on my radar. I've never really been into like the mech stuff. But
you should at least try the demo.
I know I need to, but it's just a matter of it being prioritized over something like Fire Emblem or Mario Maker.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm not as excited as when it first got announced. I don't know, my excitement level has dropped a little bit. Probably somewhere around 8.5 as well, like Barry. When I first saw it, I was like, this is awesome. I'm getting this day one, no questions asked. And then as time was going on, I'm like, I'm still excited about it, but it's not that hype level as when I first saw it. But it's still pretty high. And I don't know if I'll get it day one, but
Did you play the prologue?
It. I did not.
Oh, the prototype, whatever.
Yeah, the prototype one. Yeah, I have it downloaded, but I didn't play it. And then when I saw this one was announced, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to skip over that one and play the other one because I actually looked at save data.
The prototype demo is still fun to go back to, just if you want to see what the game used to be like, because like early build versus the final product. Sometimes it's nice to see the differences.
Yeah. Then we got a kind of an out of nowhere. Kirby got a new game. Kind of.
Nope.
Game.
Not a new game.
Not really. Yeah.
3DS port.
Kind of, but not really. Super Kirby Clash is out, and it's a 3DS port, like you said. So not really a whole lot to say. It's a free to start multiplayer game.
Did you play the 3DS version?
I can't remember if I did. Honestly,
I played the 3DS version to completion.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed it.
Really?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I didn't spend any money, and I was able to enjoy the full game. That being said, I'm not going to be touching the Switch version because I already did the 3DS version.
There you go. Yeah, I downloaded it. I'm sure I'll play it, but I'm not a huge Kirby fan. I know this is a different kind of game, so I'll definitely play it. But I probably won't be getting like super into it or anything like that. Greg, what do you think about Super Kirby Clash?
I mean, I just saw like that free to start, and it's like, what is this, like a gacha game kind of thing?
Nope, it's not a gacha game at all. It's like a boss rush mode, but you have like 4 different classes, and you level them up, and you get different weapons, and you have a fighter, and you have the hammer, and you have the mage, and you have the healer, and it's just a lot of fun picking your teams, because sometimes you need like 1 healer and like 3 swords, or you want 1 of each, or you want all hammers, and you just want to go. And it's all Kirby bosses from all throughout the history, and the only way it's like you get like apples. You have an apple tree, and use these apples to purchase to play. Use these apples to go and play, but you can also feed the tree, and it grows bigger, and you get more apples per day that way. And of course, you can pay at least the 3DS. You pay like $30, and then you get like so many apples a day. You'll never run out. It's like unlimited play, like you bought the game. But it's fully playable without worry about that, and there's no gacha at all.
Yeah, it just takes you longer.
Okay.
It just takes you longer.
Yeah.
It's worth playing. Like if you like RPGs, it's very lighthearted. It's an action RPG really, and it's very, very easy. There's no overworld. There's no big story. It's here's the bounties. Go kill them. Try and get good grades and upgrade your weapons. But it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll check that out then.
Cool. Oh, there's so many games left to still talk about. Oh, man, I feel like even we're making some progress. Man, it's so much to talk about. So let's hit a few at a time. And I feel bad because these are good games and solid games we can talk about. Divinity: Original Sin 2 is now announced for Switch, and it came out that day, so September 4th. No. Right?
Oh, the first one came out.
Yeah,
the second one.
The original Sin 2, but then the other one is not coming out. Did we have a date on that one?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it is coming, but the sequel, definitive edition, was out that day. Return of the Obra Dinn is going to. I'm missing that date as well. Actually, I don't know if they announced. I think it might just be sometime this year. Little Town Hero as well. That was the game that was previously announced as Town, right? Am I getting that correctly? So now it's called Little Town Hero. It's a new RPG from Game Freak, the developers of the Pokemon series. It's coming out on October 16th. And Deadly Premonition. Man, that's hard. Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise, is a sequel to Deadly Premonition. It is coming out in 2020, and the original game actually launched on September 4th as well. So we got Divinity: Original Sin 2, Return to Obra Dinn, Little Town Hero, and Deadly Premonition 2. Various different kind of games there, not all the same kind. What's your thoughts? Which ones stand out to you and which ones don't? Greg, how about you first?
Well, at least one that did not was the Little Town Hero. That one seemed kind of on the more boring side for me, at least. In terms of the other ones, I think I need to see some more relook at the trailers, because just even seeing some of the names, like I don't sound super familiar with like the other ones, but they seem like they could be right up my alley if I were to look more into it. So I think this was part of the direct where I was kind of like, it's kind of taking a while, and then they're just flying through all these games, and I didn't really get a good peek at a number of them, I don't think.
All right. Barry, any of them stand out to you?
Yeah. I've heard good things about the Divinity Original Sin games. I have them. I just haven't played them. So I'm looking forward to this. I know it's out right now, but it is coming physically. So I'm waiting for the physical. And what's interesting about this is that it's cross-save with Steam, which is just, it's awesome. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome to see Nintendo doing this. Deadly Premonition is one of those I've heard great things about. 360, PS3, never played it, but I have them. But now, again, it was like, oh, digital, it's out digital. But, oh, wait, no, it's actually getting a physical. So I'm waiting for the physical, and I might give that a shot. And Deadly Premonition 2 was not only announced in this direct, but the first time it's being announced, and it's a Switch exclusive, which is huge. It's like, oh wow, this is a niche title, but it's a cult classic, and it's a Switch exclusive. That's great. And Little Town Hero looks interesting. The fact that it's coming out before Pokemon tells me that there was a very small development team on this. It definitely looks like a small title. I mean, if it comes physical, I'll get it and give it a shot. Otherwise, it'll just be swept under the rug, honestly.
Yeah. I'm still on the fence about Little Town Hero. Divinity, I almost want to support and get the game just to support a decision to have cross save. That's so awesome. Like, I can't imagine. Like, it'd be so great to be able to play a game on your computer and everything, and be able to take that game, especially now that they have the Switch Lite coming out, and be able to take that game on the go. And so you play it at home on your computer screen, you take it with you on the go, save data both ways. That's awesome. So I love the fact that they're doing that. Deadly Premonition, I need to look more into it. It sounds really interesting. I've not played the original game, so I may check out the Origins game just to see what's going on there. But yeah, I need to look more into it. All right, so let's take another set of a few games at once. We got information about Rogue Company is a 5v5 online shooter from High Res Studios. It's a new IP, and it's going to be coming on the Switch in 2020. We got a remake of the Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, which is coming to the Switch on September 24th. We got an N64 game. Yeah, N64. Doom 64 is coming to the Switch on November 22nd, which does make me question if 64 games will ever come to the Nintendo Online service, but we'll talk about that a little later, maybe a little bit. And The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition, and let's just throw in Assassin's Creed: The Rebel Collection as well, because this kind of seems like other than Rogue Company, basically let's rehash these games again, sort of thing, and port them over from different systems and everything. So from Rogue Company, Star Wars, Jedi Knight 2, Doom 64, The Witcher 3, and Assassin's Creed: The Rebel Collection. What stands out there to you, Barry?
Witcher 3, the fact that it's even coming to Switch is amazing, and the fact that it looks as good as it does on the Switch is amazing. And I'm excited for it. It's another one of those titles that I got at launch and just never played, and they've added DLC content, and this has it all. Assassin's Creed 4 is the one I did want to play, and I didn't, so it's nice. And that's, again, it's another exclusive, which is weird because they showed Assassin's Creed 3 and that came to other systems. This one is actually exclusive to the Switch. Those are the two main ones. So the Rogue Legacy looks, or the Rogue whatever, the new one.
Company, yeah.
Rogue Company, that looks interesting. I like to see new IPs, but I play more single-player games now, so it's not for me. But I know it's for other people, and for that, I'm really happy, and I'm excited to see, See, when I see a game that I'm like, I know I'm probably not going to play this, I get excited for those that will be playing it. And I'll go, this is boring to me because I don't care about it. I'm like, no, I know there's people that are jumping up their chair right now, and I'm so excited for you guys because everyone needs to have games like that.
Yeah, for sure. I want to point out the fact that Roth says in the chat that I believe is it Deadly Premonition 2? I think that's the one that he's talking about. It's Boston based, which I thought was pretty cool. So he's there from Boston. I used to live around Boston, so that was cool to see. I think the same thoughts as you, Barry, on Rogue Company. I think it's a cool idea. I may check it out. I'd rather see Rogue Squadron instead of Jedi Knight 2,
Yes.
personally. But Doom 64, it's cool, but I don't know. Witcher 3, I think The Witcher 3 is the thing that stands out to me the most. I've never played a Witcher game. The fact that Witcher 3 is coming to Switch might get me, although it's right in the middle of everything else that's launching, and I'm like, there's no way that I'm probably going to get to it at that time, but eventually I'll probably eventually get around to playing The Witcher 3. Greg, what are your thoughts on this set of games?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much just like the Witcher 3 and possibly, I guess, like Doom is the main ones that I might be looking more forward to. Rogue Company, I'm not really into like team battles, as already previously established. Star Wars, I've actually never even seen any of the movies, so like,
Wait,
don't know about
what?
seeing.
How have we? This probably just counted for like 5 million on the Barry disappointment count. You've never seen a Star Wars movie?
Get him, Steve. Get him.
What? How has this happened? Like, I'm more intrigued than disappointed right now.
It's never seemed like it's been my cup of tea, I don't think. I had a friend try to show me one of them, and then me and Rachel tried to watch episode 1, and like we had to turn it off because we were getting like bored with it.
Well, that kind makes sense about episode 1. Don't worry about the prequels. The pod racing is my favorite part from episode 1.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Then watch 1, 2, 3. Then 7. You can skip 8. And then...
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Jakester is he's done. Like he's tapping out. Like you like Star Wars is like his favorite thing. So like I don't know. He's probably left the chat right now. He's quitting NintendoFuse and left our Discord, and you just really messed him up. No, I don't know. Oh man, we need to not. We're just gonna move on because I can't. I don't think I can accept that. We also got information about Dauntless, which is a free-to-play action RPG. And this is coming to Switch. What I forget what the release date is on that one.
Later this year,
I think it's just this year. I think, but yeah, it's coming free to play RPG action game. It's interesting. What's that?
It's like Monster Hunter.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, but kind of, I don't know. And I love that it's free to play. I think that's cool that we're getting those kind of games. But anyhow, we'll move on. Trials of Mana, the remastered version, coming to Switch on April 24th. This is the new version of the classic game, which has the fully voiced characters and upgraded graphics, and they can also you can get the collection of mana. That's what I'm trying to think of. I saw that actually in Best Buy. And it was so close to getting it the other day. I was like,
so good.
Oh, I was like, do I pick it up? Do I not? Do I pick it up? No, I'm not. And also like dang it, I'm focusing so much on the other games. Spyro was there too. I was like Spyro, collection of mana, both of them. Like, no, gotta save money. Put them back on the shelf, walk away. So I was really close the other day. But anyhow, Dauntless, Trials of Mana, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Tokyo 2020 is also coming out. We kind of saw the single player story mode, which I thought was interesting. And we're also getting some new amiibo from Smash Brothers, and Sonoroar, Crom, and Simon Belmont will all be in stores on November 15th. So we got Dauntless, Trials of Mana, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and new amiibo. Greg, tell me you've seen the Olympics, right?
Yeah, I have watched some of the Olympic Games. Yes. That the classic, that 2D graphic stuff looks really intriguing. I wish I knew a little bit more about that, even though they did show off some of it. But I don't know if it's enough to have me get the game though. The amiibo will probably be pre-ordered soon. And the Trials of Mana, I did kind of want to check that out when I have some time, but I don't know when that will be.
Yeah. Trials of Mana looks really good.
Did you ever play a Mana game, Greg? I'm asking this question, and I'm scared of the answer. I'm ready to hurt myself, but yeah. Did you ever play a Mana game?
No, I have not played a Mana game.
Knew it was
I
going
know
to happen.
Secret of Mana. The only one I've ever heard of was Secret of Mana, and I don't never played it.
Oh my god! You have an SNES Classic, right?
I do, yes. I haven't really.
On there.
I haven't powered it up yet.
Collection of Mana. Get Collection of Mana.
It's funny. Which does make me like thinking of that. I mean, like those games are probably not going to make their way on the SNES online service. So this is your way of getting it, Greg. It's just
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man, Roth is saying that that Dauntless is a more simplified version of Monster Hunter, which is actually I'm excited about that because Monster Hunter sometimes can get too overwhelming for me. Like I remember I played Try quite a bit and I got overwhelmed actually after a while, and so because there's so much game there, and so if Dauntless is kind of a simplified version, that excites me. Yeah. Any other thoughts, Barry, about these games?
The Olympics one, I've gotten all the Olympic games. I've never played a single one, but this one I think I'm actually going to play.
That story mode is intriguing.
Yeah, the story mode is intriguing. The 8-bit, 16-bit graphics looks good. Even the mini games, they look good, like just in general. I almost opened Rio. I've heard good things about the Rio one, and then I just didn't have the time. But this one I plan to. I say I plan to, doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but I plan to.
Yeah.
Trials of Mana is an absolute must. I love the Mana series. In fact, I've been debating holding off. I'm going to be playing probably Final Fantasy Adventure through the Collection of Mana, but I'm going to be holding off on Trials of Mana through there just to play the remake. Because I did play the original SNES Trials of Mana through emulation with an English patch. Nice. Because we never got it here, and I needed to play that game because I absolutely love the Mana series. Greg likes Zelda, but never touches Mana because why not? I don't know, Greg. You're really disappointing me. So many games, so many homework assignments. Just they're piling on.
I didn't really get a ton of Super Nintendo games. I mean, I probably would have loved it if I had gotten that, but
yeah, I'm not saying back then.
My big one was the Final Fantasy Adventure. I played that quite a bit. Like that was the one I spent the most time with. Like
it's been released, and you have an SNES Classic. You have no excuse. You own it already. Money isn't even an option. You own it.
Oh man, you guys getting
so about No Time Barry?
Yeah.
No, you can't take my thing. That's my thing.
It's his
my
shtick.
Copyright, my trademark. Find your own.
Did you guys getting the new amiibo?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I have ever.
That's okay. Are you like? I know Barry's collecting them all. Greg, are you still collecting them all, or are you kind of just picking and choosing at this point?
Well, I have pretty much up to date all the Smash ones, so at least not ones that are duplicate like Rob and Player 2's, but yeah, I got all the other one. I got at least one of each.
Nice. I'm picking and choosing, so I don't think I'm actually going to get any of these. But I'm so excited about the new Link one from Link's Awakening. It's adorable. So yeah, I'm definitely be getting that one. All right, let's fly through the last set of games. Not to get they're all, some of them are really great. I want to give them plenty of time, but we're running out of time. There's so many games to talk about this week on the podcast. So we got NBA 2020 came out on September 6th. There's a whole bunch of controversy around that game. The Outer Worlds is coming out very soon for Switch. We got Just Dance 2020 is coming out on November 5th. Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered is coming out on September 20th, so just a little bit away. That's an RPG as well. Fan favorite, big game. Devil May Cry 2 is also coming out on September 19th. So all these other games are on the 20th. Devil May Cry is sneaking in on September 19th, and you can go ahead and pre-purchase that, as well as Grid Autosport is also coming out on the 19th. So right away, and you can pre-purchase that one as well. Vampire, that's Vampyr, is coming out on October 29th. Again, another action RPG, of course, based on vampires. Call of Cthulhu is coming out on October 8th. Again, another RPG, a bunch of RPGs in order. And, of course, everybody's favorite, Farming Simulator 20 is also going to be coming out this winter. So we got NBA 2K20, we got The Outer Worlds, we got Just Dance 2020, we got Ni no Kuni, we got Devil May Cry 2, we got Grid Autosport, Vampire, Call of Cthulhu, and Farming Simulator 20. That's a lot of games. Barry, are you excited about any of them?
For me, my favorite one there is Ni no Kuni, which I'll be getting, but obviously, but I probably won't be replaying it. I did play it when it launched on the PS3. It is a fantastic game. I very, very much recommend it. It is an RPG. It has Pokemon elements because you have to capture monsters and fight with them, but it's done by Studio Ghibli, so the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. The story is charming. The voice acting is great. It is well worth a play, hands down worth a play.
Cool.
The others, I'll get if they come physical. NBA 2K20 is actually the only game right now that's out that I don't own, just because I know it's going to drop in value, so there's no point in me spending $60 on a sports game right now. But yeah, Just Dance is also coming to the Wii, yes, Jakester. And I have that pre-ordered because I need to. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that there was a Walmart. No, I think it was Walmart or GameStop was advertising it for the Wii U, and it confused everybody. And they stated that they only put it there because it's playable on the Wii U if you have the Wii version.
Yeah. That's so funny that they keep putting those games out on Wii. I guess they're selling.
It's the last one. It's the last one, they said.
Okay, which makes sense. But I guess they're selling though. Which I guess there's a bunch of people that are still playing on their Wii. It works. So let's go to the chat real quick before Jake's just saying avoid 2K20. Barry's got to collect it, so he's got to give him some money, but it's not. He's not giving the full money. Eventually. Jakester's also excited about Ni no Kuni, and Roth is saying Call of Cthulhu is a big surprise. It's an old game. Also excited about Vampire. Greg, what do you think about this batch of games?
It's if I were to re-copyright Barry's trademark, it'd be like a no moment Greg, and I don't think that
no moment.
So despite all these RPGs in there, I don't think I would have time to check them all out.
Yeah.
If you check out one in that list, it's Nino. Do it, Nino.
There's a lot. Yeah. I've always been intrigued by the Devil May Cry series. I don't think I'll be playing
the worst.
Is Choose the Worst? Okay, then I'll avoid it then. So Ni no Kuni is it? Yeah, that's the big thing is there's a bunch of RPGs and they just take up so much time. Like I really want to play them, but it's just like becoming an adult sucks sometimes. So like there's not enough to really dive into all these RPGs.
And you're so exhausted by the end of the day.
Yeah, Dragon Quest XI is like right around the corner.
Oh, it's true.
Yep.
Grid Autosport is one of the non-RPG games there. I think it looks fantastic on Switch. I think it's really cool to have those good racing games on Switch. We don't really have many, so I'm interested in it. We'll see. It's coming out this Friday. But yeah, other than that, Farming Simulator, of course. We'll see. Not really. It's interesting that...
Is that the same as Animal Crossing?
Not quite. All right. So, yeah. So, as we wrap up, that was all the big announcements from the Nintendo Direct. Any closing thoughts before we move on to a couple quick other news pieces from this last week? Any thoughts about the Direct?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, the fact that we just spent over an hour discussing it, and we had to rush through the last thing just shows how many games were announced. Like they went over so many games, and there wasn't like 20 of those games were in a montage. There was like 6 games in a montage. The rest of them they actually went through.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually I didn't catch how long it was going to be beforehand, and so it was kind of a surprise for me. And I kept watching. I was like, surely it's going to be over. Nope, keeps on going. Surely it's going to be. Nope, keeps on going. So it was like it was awesome for me because I had no idea how long to expect. And then they topped it off with this other, a time with Sakurai as well, showing off Banjo-Kazooie, which was really cool. It's always great to see him just like in his element.
He's losing his mind.
Yeah,
and it is glorious in that sense. Like I feel for the guy, but you could just tell, like he's just like, I'm going to talk about how I play the controller.
Yeah,
because I don't have anyone to play with me.
Probably no one wants to play with him because you just kill him.
Go, you want to play Banjo-Kazooie? Go play it on your Xbox One.
That's funny. Basement Dweller saying he's really excited about Ukulele and Hat in Time. I also am actually. I'm really excited about the next Ukulele game. I think the 2D style is going to work out really well for them, and yeah, I'm excited to see it kind of a Donkey Kong Country kind of vibe to it, which looks really cool. All right, so there's a couple other news pieces we're gonna hit fairly quickly, but we may want to make sure that we hit them because they are interesting. Especially this first one. We got a video. Nintendo dropped a little video after the Direct. It's like a day after, 2 days after, something like that. And they showed off a new accessory for the Nintendo Switch. And I don't know if all of you guys listening have gotten to see this yet. If you haven't, be sure to head over to Nintendo's YouTube channel and check this out. It is like this cylinder or a circular thing, this plastic bendable thing that you put a Joy-Con in, and then there's another one that straps to your leg. So, and then you. And the weirdest thing is in the video, it was like a couple minutes long, but you never see the screen. You never see what they're actually doing in the game or app or whatever this thing is. You just see a bunch of people doing kind of like exercise movements, and then there's like bow and arrow kind of thing, and then one of the guys on the floor just like flapping his legs around, and I was like, I don't know what in the world this thing is. But at the end of the video, it says more news is coming on September 12th. So just a couple days from now, we're gonna hopefully find out what this is all about. But what did you guys think of this video, and maybe like speculate what could this be? Greg, what do you think?
I have not seen this video.
You haven't seen it? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so weird.
When did this even drop? Like, I didn't see
like
any...
right after the Direct.
Yeah, it was soon after. I'm glad. I mean, I think it makes sense that they didn't include this in the Direct.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
I didn't even get to watch the Sakurai piece because I had to get off the train. So
yeah. All right. Well, Barry, I know you've watched it. What are your thoughts on this strange accessory?
At first, I thought it was like Wii Sports again or Wii Fit again.
Yeah.
And I showed it to my wife, and she was like, "Oh, it's like yoga, it's Pilates, and like all that stuff, workout. This looks interesting.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these poses I recognize. So
yeah.
I mean, I'm interested to see what it is. I'm sure it's going to be something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's kind of like how they did the Labo thing. Like this is not for the hardcore gamer. This is for a different demographic, which totally means that they're going to show what it is, and you're going to get the hardcore gamers crying and moaning and bitching and whining because it's, oh my god, this is so stupid. This isn't for me. What are they doing? Even though it's not targeted for them, because everything Nintendo does has to be targeted for them.
And then they'll buy it.
There's going to be so much salt is going to happen. It's going to be glorious.
Totally. Yeah. It does kind of look like a Wii Fit, a Wii Play, Wii Sports kind of combination maybe thing. I was intrigued by the fact that like it does look like a fitness thing, but people are in regular clothes when they're doing that, not in fitness clothes, and there's usually a crowd around. So there's some sort of like group multiplayer, and it's not actually a multiplayer thing, but it seems to be like a party style sort of like fitness thing. But I'm interested because it looks like that, but then how they presented it wasn't necessarily your traditional like exercise sort of app or whatever. So I really don't know what it is. So I don't know. We're going to find out more on September 12th. So stay tuned. We'll be posting on NintendoFuse on our social media as soon as we find out what's going on. You would definitely be able to hear our thoughts, and we'll share our verbal thoughts on next podcast as well. And then we also got a couple patents that Nintendo has filed recently. The first one is for this bendable Joy-Con. I think if I saw the patent drawing a little bit right, it's kind of like the analog stick part of it kind of bends a little bit. We don't really know a whole lot about it because it's just from a patent. Patents even change. That's kind of like their initial thoughts, and they get the patent, and then things can kind of change a little bit. And sometimes they don't actually turn out to anything at all. Some people just go after patents, and they don't even become an actual product. But then we got also a VR kind of headset. But not the traditional VR headset that have the strap and everything like that. It basically looks like the Labo VR, but just with plastic and some foam, and able to have VR without actually building your own out of cardboard. So, Barry, what do you think about these two patents? Are we actually going to see anything come of them?
I kind of hope we do. I mean, I was expecting people on Etsy to make a Labo VR kind of deal, but with plastic. And I know there's that one you can get, and it's terrible. So if Nintendo does it, hopefully they do it right. And I think that'd be interesting. So, I don't want to get the cardboard and all that stuff. Okay, fine. Well, this is a little more sustainable. I think people might be more intrigued to try the VR since they are adding it to more and more games. As for the Joy-Cons, honestly, I think they look kind of cool. I think that feels a little more comfortable, especially if you get some flight games or something. I think that could work. Any of those the games that you want to have those Joy-Cons separate. Even like I didn't play Mario Odyssey this way, even though that was the way you're supposed to play. Mm-hmm. But I could see it being a little more comfortable with the little bit of the bend instead of the holding it straight up, but that more natural bend, because that's kind of what you do naturally when you grip. Your thumb goes on top; it doesn't go the same direction.
That's true. So, although it's hard to reach those face buttons, then I guess if you're bent, I don't know. I would like to play a twin stick shooter like that. I think it'd be very comfortable. Yeah. Like I sit back in my chair and play Geometry Wars like that. That sounds like an awesome time to me.
So I'm interested to see if anything comes of it.
Nice, Greg. What do you think of these patents?
They both seem like something that should definitely be released in coming time. I mean, I know like with like the VR for Labo, that definitely makes sense. So like for them to actually have like a normal integration of it. In terms of the Joy-Cons, I'm kind of surprised that like they're now starting to consider it to be more bendy, because I remember playing like handheld and it almost feels like you can kind of like bend them like it doesn't feel right on like using the normal Joy-Con. So
the big question is, are they going to have drift or not? I mean, you got even more things that are going to cause even more problems in there. We're going to have another whole Joy-Con bendy drift thing going on this time.
Yeah, my whole Joy-Cons are bending. What's going
on? Roth said he looked at the looked like something squeezing something circular in the other thing. So I don't know what we're gonna find out in that thing.
That's talking about the circle.
Yeah, and the whole circle thing is like squeezing it. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? But
Greg, you have to watch that video after this.
Yes, you definitely need to watch that video.
It's like a minute and a half.
Yeah. Was like super surprised to see that on the schedule. It's like, wait, what?
What are you talking about? We got a couple more things to wrap up pretty soon, but thank you guys for joining us so much. We want to encourage you guys to join us in our social media. Make sure you send in questions. You can send in questions to podcast@nintendofuse.com. You can connect with us in the Discord. You can connect with us on social media at NintendoFuse. All those links are going to be in the show notes and the description down here below here on YouTube. But before we wrap up, of course, we want to talk about what we're excited about playing over the next couple weeks before the next podcast. The next podcast is going to be on September 23rd, so 2 weeks from tonight as we're recording this on September 9th. But over the next couple weeks, we got some big games coming out: Daemon X Machina, Grid Autosport, Link's Awakening, and several others that we've talked about already. What are you guys hoping to play over the next couple weeks? Barry, how about you first?
I'm playing Daemon X Machina this week after I finish Astral Chain for good. Link's Awakening next week. And by the time our next podcast is happening, I'll be hopefully gearing up for to continue my Dragon Quest XI save file.
Nice. Greg, how about you?
Pretty much just Link's Awakening. I got plenty of stuff to address and like Fire Emblem and Mario Maker to do beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. Link's Awakening, the same for me. I'm still. It also going to depend if I actually get around to it, and it's definitely one of those games. It's with Spyro is what I'm talking about. I think it's one of those games that I can put off and play later. It'll always be there that I can go get later. But the fact that it just came out recently, it's every time I see it, I'm like, ooh, I want to get it. But there's no time to play it right now. Same with Astral Chain. I think it's going to be a game that I eventually get. Is there any reason to get it right away, Barry? Like, I gotta get it now, or can it wait till later after all this chaos of all these other great games coming out in September and October?
Honestly, it's just a really good game. It's one of those, and it's longer than I expected. It's 12 chapters or files, and in truth, outside of the last one, they can actually be split, in my opinion, into two. But the game does autosave a lot. But it's just a really good story. It's got mystery. It's got intrigue. The levels, although you do kind of repeat some levels, like you go back to some locations to start with. But you see it change over time, and then you go to a different direction afterwards. The combat is fantastic. It's very puzzle oriented too. It's more puzzle oriented than I expected. Like, there are literally some platforming elements, and the interesting thing is you can't jump in this game. Like, you can't push a button and jump, but there are actually platforming elements, and you have to actually figure out, I need to get on this canister. How do I get in this canister? I have to figure out another way to get to it. It's honestly, I would play it. I would say if you have the time before Link's Awakening, it's worth playing. Do I think the price is going to go down the road? Like anything, it could, but it's a Nintendo published, so it very well may not. And it's great to support Platinum. I want Nintendo to buy Platinum, and this is a new Nintendo IP.
Yeah,
so,
it's weird that they haven't yet.
They haven't. Yeah. One interesting weird thing that they do in this game, which kind of throws me back, is you can pick boy or girl. The two characters, whichever one you don't pick is named Akira. So either the girl or the guy is named Akira. But they actually have a female and a male voice actor. So, like, I picked the male, so the female Akira is voiced, but your character's mute. And I'm like, why is my character mute? But if you did it reverse, the male Akira is voiced and the female's mute. And actually, one of the segments later on, suddenly I heard a voice talking, and I'm like, who is this? And I realized it was my character finally talking, and I just never heard that voice before. But it's fully voice acted, pretty much. Like, and the music is good. Yeah, it's worth playing. I'll say this. If you like action games, if you like Bayonetta, if you like puzzle action type, if you're one of those that, hey, maybe I want the grades, and I'm playing on casual, so there's no grades. So I'm playing on casual. I just enjoyed it. It does have replayability. To go back to previous missions, to you can go back to any chapter anytime you want, play through. There's a ton of side quests. It's like Metroidvania in a sense. Like, this needs to be dug up. You need the Beast Legion, but you don't have the Beast Legion yet. So if you come back after you get the Beast Legion, you can then dig it up. New stories. Every level has a cat to find. You can rescue cats. Every level has a toilet to use, and if you use it, you get different types of toilet paper, which sometimes it's like a pamphlet or a sandpaper, and you have to give it to a toilet fairy in the police station to get things. Like, it's quirky,
it's so weird,
and it's fun. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. And like every level starts you at the police station, and there's side quests all over. You run around the police station and do things for people. At one point, you're testing out an iOS game, and you're like playing this little arcade game. It's quirky, it's awesome, and it's worth playing. That's interesting. If you like that.
All right. Like, I was already pretty excited about it. You kind of you sold me a little more on that. So, but yeah, of course, Link's Awakening. Pretty excited about that. Definitely still very much thinking about Grid. Jakester said he's excited about Link's Awakening and Fate Grand Order. He sounds. I was thinking the same thing, Jakester. That it sounds a little bit like Travis Strikes Again. All those games, kind of like with the toilet and everything else. Probably not as crude.
No, but not as crude. Travis Strikes Again is a decent game, but it's very, very repetitive. Like, I was ready for it to be over really quickly, and I played through it. This game, totally different beast. I mean, if you play one Platinum game, you know how they do action games. Yeah. They're good at it.
They're good. Yep, for sure. And then we have Mario Kart Tour. It's coming out on September 25th iOS and Android. So I already have it, pre-ordered. Basically, just going to show up on my phone on September 25th. So we'll talk about our thoughts kind of right after the next podcast. So we'll kind of have to wait a little bit longer on that. Maybe we'll do a game chat on that to kind of get our thoughts out on that earlier. But yeah, anything else that you guys are excited about doing on the next couple of weeks? Get excited about writing, or you got some interviews lined up, Barry? Be sure to check out our channel. We got lots of interviews lined up. Any ones you want to tease at all, or kind of keep it all a secret?
We got a few already in the bucket already to go. One that I'm really excited about is Chris, who did Battle Princess Madeline, which is a game I followed from the Kickstarter, and I had a really awesome chat with him. Sweet guy, and I think that was an awesome time, and I think you will enjoy. If you even looked at the game, if you haven't, you should. It's just an awesome story, empowering for a daughter, and I'm looking forward. I've got a couple more recorded, and I've got a couple more lined up for this week and next, and good ones coming up, and I'm excited for them. I don't know when they'll trickle out over the rest of this year, of course, but always looking forward to doing this. I absolutely love getting to sit down and talk with developers and people in the industry, and that's the best part of my job, because these people are passionate about gaming, and I'm passionate about gaming, and it's great we could share that with you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Greg, any thoughts before we wrap up?
Not really. I mean, I was just trying to tell you guys in the chat, it looks like the Switch firmware was updated to again, and also the Joy-Cons were updated to the latest firmware. It's not just like a normal, we improved our security settings so you can't hack us anymore type thing. So it looks like there's you can have some alarm notifications. You can configure sensitive, the touchscreen sensitivity settings. You can do the online play invites, so you can send your friends invites to join you in a game or something.
Oh.
So
that's cool. Any themes yet?
Merrymaker.
Still no themes?
Yeah, I don't see the themes in here, so unfortunately not.
Of course not. Yeah, that's exciting. I was expecting just more stability, but that's cool. That's cool that they're got a slightly bigger update than just more stability. So that's awesome. And Joy-Cons are updated to 7.0.0, so
yeah,
I'm guessing just better connection and stuff like that. So
maybe it fixes the drift issue.
Maybe.
No,
if they can fix that software, as I don't know.
I doubt it.
Yeah, probably not.
From what I've seen,
they already said send them in, so probably not.
Yeah, I've watched the videos on it, so I know it's more of an actual plastic or something inside of it. It's not firmware.
Yeah. Well, we've got another podcast coming up in 2 weeks on September 23rd. So hopefully you guys will join us again on September 23rd. Join us for the live one. And if you're listening after the fact or watching it, we would love to have you guys at the live show on September 23rd. That'd be awesome. And 2 weeks after that, our big 10th anniversary episode on October 7th. 10 years that we've been doing this podcast, which is crazy. Man. So we'll talk a lot more about that on October 7th. We've got some cool things coming in for that show. It's going to be a special show. We'll probably, I don't know. We'll see what we talk about. I know we're going to be talking a lot about history and just kind of reminiscing together and stuff like that. There'll probably be some news that we'll chat about as well, but we're going to focus a lot about just kind of the history of NintendoFuse and kind of just talk about the, what it's like, what it's been like over the last 10 years or so. But hopefully you guys join us in our Discord. We'd love to have you there. Like I said, the links are all in our show notes and the description down below, and that just helps us to kind of keep this conversation alive between podcasts. We love chatting with you in the live chat, but we also love talking to you guys between episodes. And so make sure you do follow us on join our Discord and follow us on social media, and throw any questions you have for future episodes. We'd love to address those and all that stuff. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to rate us and leave comments and like us and hit the bells and all those YouTube things and all those things on your podcast apps. That would just really help us kind of be found by other Nintendo gamers out there as well. So Greg, Barry, as always, it's been awesome. And we'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Yep. See you guys later.